everybody. Welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I'm Brenda, Jim's wife, and it's about chore time in the evening. And Jim and the horses just came across the field from having an afternoon of logging. And I thought we'd take you along with us as Jim gets the horses into the barn and gets everything set for the evening. We're expecting another really cold night tonight. It hasn't been bad today, but we're expecting a cold one tonight. So here's Jim. He's got the horses just about ready to go into the barn. He's going to unhook them.
Bye. Oh. Hi everybody. We've been asked, several people want to know what we do with as far as keeping the horses warm in the wintertime after they've been working all day and have gotten a little bit sweated up. Catch that. Oh. I try to keep my horses from sweating during the wintertime, and some horses I'm able to do that. I can work them hard and they don't hardly sweat at all. And some horses will sweat more than others, of course. And so these two, I do have a little bit of trouble keeping them from sweating in the wintertime, which I'm always working on trying to improve that so they don't sweat. But since they are sweated, I tried it when I come home. I try to get them into the barn fairly fast. I do sometimes leave them there tied for a little while just to cool them down so they can drink all the water they want. But I still don't let them stay there very long when they're hot like this. And they're not extremely hot, but they're somewhat hot. So now I will give them some water. Come here a little bit. Oh. What I want to do is get them in the barn as much as possible so I can get the door shut as soon as possible. And usually while they're right here drinking, I'll unhitch their belly girth. Sometimes I'll unhitch my snap there from my Hames strap. And then I just watch close to know when they've had enough water. Sometimes they just had enough water and they go. But sometimes because they're warm, I don't let them drink all they want. All right, Belle, come on in. Belle. Lady, Belle. All right, a little bit more. I also know what they've been drinking throughout the day, what they drank when we left at lunchtime, and I know Bill didn't drink right after lunch, so I knew he was going to be a little bit more thirsty, and he was. And so I let him drink a little bit more. Get her, lady. Get her. Her. So I'm going to quick get him unharnessed because Brenda's been doing the brushing for me at night. And so as soon as ladies unharnessed, and Brenda will start right in brushing.
That lady. Woo!
Get her back.
You ladies.
So I have a few things I want to share with everybody today. For starters, I wanted to explain why I let the horses back in like that all on their own. A lot of times I'm concerned about doing some things with my horses that maybe make me like, maybe it makes me look good, and I'm really trying not to do that. What I'm trying to do is show how good horses are and show what you can do with horses. So there was just one tiny little example of how good horses can get when you work them, and how, you know, for situations like that, they back right in all themselves. I just recently saw a video that's been going around of the Clydesdale, Budweiser Clydesdales, and they had a big wreck in this. What would that have been? Coliseum, not Coliseum.
Arena,
I guess. So a big wreck in this arena where they were doing a show, and one horse fell down, and then they just all fell right down. It was a total mess. And I was just so impressed by how those Clydesdales stayed so calm, and they were, in the early part of the video, you could tell they were plenty hyped up. They had a lot of energy in them. And but when this happened, they just went right into calm mode and were so calm. And then all the guys with the Budweiser team came out and were able to, without any incident at all, get this mess all cleaned right up. And I was pretty impressed, both by the horses and by the people doing the, you know, cleaning up that work there, that took care of them all. So just one more thing to show how good horses can be when they're well trained and worked. So anyways, I was impressed.
did you want to talk? And there's a little patches coming, other hairs coming off here.
So I'm going to show you a couple of different things. The first thing I want to talk about is what happens in the wintertime when we're working horses hard, and what happens to their hair. Let me just get Bill's collar out of here, and then I'll show you a couple things. Okay, I want to show you a couple things here on both these guys. During the wintertime, their hair is longer, and so a sign of a team that's been worked a lot is marks on their body where the hair has worn off. There's one mark there. Up here, it's on the pole strap on my harness. And then over on the other side, we have the same thing. And this will actually get worse as the winter progresses.
Billy.
We have the same over here with Lady on her butt where the britchin hits. And not so much here, but still some. So what happens it's partially because of my harnesses. My harnesses are D-ring harnesses, and when they're set up, they're actually quite tight. So the britchin, unless they're pulling hard, is actually fairly tight to their butt. And so that's one reason why this happens. But the major reason why this happens is just because they have longer hair in the wintertime, and they're just being used so much, those spots will wear down, and it doesn't hurt anything. Come spring, it'll grow right back with your summer hair, and you don't even know it during the summertime. But in the wintertime, there is quite a spot there. I've always thought that was a good thing to have my horses have that, or see other horses that have that, because it showed you that, boy, they've been working this winter, and that's kind of a good thing. Okay, I'm going to throw Lady's blanket on her. So this is what we do. We throw the blanket on them after she just curries the horses to kind of straighten up the hair when they're wet like this.
I did brush her tonight, but I will just curry him. And
then I will put the blankets on, and I also will get the horses in so it warms up more in the barn. But when I come back out, this is like 5 o'clock. When I come back out at 6:30, 7 o'clock to re-water the horses for the last time, for night, I will take the blankets off, and then I will brush them again, and that makes for their hair to be pretty good. I'm going to get the horses in so that the barn warms up faster.
Say hi, Kenny.
I usually green all the horses before I bring them in, but the Belgians aren't ready to grain yet, so I just green the colts and let the blacks come in and just have the hay in their stalls eat, which is just as well anyways.
You had an icicle in your hair.
Come here.
This is Whitey. She's our new horse barn cat. She showed up some time ago, and we found out she's Andy's cat from his barn, so he may be coming to take her back. But we've been feeding her.
Okay, what I want to talk about somewhat is sweat pads. I want to get Bill's blanket on, but before I do, I want to explain a couple things. A couple years ago, I was clipping Bill's mane, and I realized, boy, this is really sore on him. And it turned out there was even a few marks there that I'd never noticed. And what it was from is, with my logging cart, it's a tremendous amount of weight on the tongue. So it's hard in their necks if it's not properly set up. With my D-ring harnesses, I generally take great care in setting them up in such a way so it takes all the weight off the neck. Well, you can actually use a D-ring harness and not have it set up properly and tight enough, so it still is putting a lot of weight on their necks and not the bulk of it on their backs. It'll never get it completely off the necks, but still, you don't want a lot on their necks because it'll make them sore. So anyways, I was just kind of slacking there for that little bit of time, and I wasn't doing a good job as far as getting my harness adjusted right. So he got a pretty sore neck. So I can't remember at the time if the sweat pad was perfect or not, but if you just think about it, if you've got a spot that has the potential of being sore, and then your sweat pad is broke at that area, let me show you the sweat pad. This is his sweat pad, and you can see these marks, it's wearing out, and it's just a spot, and this is exactly where his bad place would be if it was bad, and it's not bad. But you know, if you could feel that, it's quite rough there. So that's all the more reason why it's very important to change pads and get new pads on when it's needed. So that's what I want to do. I just bought some new pads, and I'll explain a little bit about them and who I bought them from. But first, let me throw on Bill's blanket so he can be warm. We usually just have the blankets right here because I've been coming home for lunch ever since I started this job a couple weeks ago. And I had hired Andy, our Amish neighbor, and he was always supposed to be part-time. Well, it seems like this part-time has turned into very, very little part-time, because I think this week he's supposed to work one day and that's it. And so he's really not helping me a lot in the woods. And because of the time it takes for me to walk home, I have decided this is probably the last day I'm going to walk home. I'm going to start hitching up the truck to the trailer and running them down, even though it's so close, and just taking my lunch down there and spending the lunch hour right at the landing. And so the blankets will be with me, so I can load up, so I can blanket them at lunchtime down there. Okay.
I think Bill's waiting for his blanket. He kept looking. Like, where's my blankie?
Okay, so back to the sweat pads. So I just want to say a little
Shout out.
shout out. Brenda says that's what I need to call it. To the Midwest Pads. That's who this came from. I've been buying there for a little while now, and they've been very good. They told me when I ordered this that it could be a while because they're kind of behind, and I was surprised how fast all of a sudden they're here. So here is the name and the address. I will put in the description below the actual name and address, and I also have their telephone number. They are an Amish company out of Missouri, right? Yeah. And so, of course, the Amish in our area don't have phones, but these are different type of Amish, and they actually do have phones. So if you are interested in buying pads, by all means, I want to suggest them, because I've been happy with them, and I hope that you might even do business with them. Now, this is not a paid advertisement for this company in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure being Amish, they're not even allowed to do that. But I wonder if I should give the prices.
Why not?
Okay, I will. So I bought 4 pads. These are 29-inch pads, and they are all vinyl. I bought 2 black ones and 2 red ones. I asked them if the shipping would be cheaper if I bought more than just the 2, and they said yes, more you buy at a time, the cheaper the shipping is. So I did buy 2 the black ones and 2 the red ones for the blacks, but I don't need to use them yet. If you look at these, see, they look pretty good, and I think Ken's is good too.
He's getting a little teeny crack in his.
Yeah. Depends on how much I work on. I'll have to change them soon. So anyways, this is, they're all the same price. So it's 29-inch. They're extra wide. They're all vinyl draft pad. And it doesn't matter if they're black or red. It's the same price. So they're $21.25 a piece. So I think you'll find that that's a very good price if you were to shop around. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I think it's a really good price, and I'm very happy with them. They do a good job.
Is this a company that we pay them after you even get it?
Yeah, it's surprising. A lot of these Amish companies, you call down there, and they don't know me from Adam. And I say, well, how do you want me to pay? You need my credit card? He says, no, that's all right. You can just pay me when you get it. Of course, I've dealt a little bit of business with these guys, so it's not so surprising. But the very first time I did, that's what they told me to do, and I was shocked. And I've had it happen with some other Amish companies. I think I bought some shoes out of Michigan one time, and yeah, they just said, send the money when you get the product. So I'm impressed with their trustworthiness.
That's the way it used to be with everybody, all the time.
Yeah. But not anymore, doesn't seem like. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day.